everyone. I am All in Danger, your technical trader. Today, I will be doing a Ripple XRP price prediction. Now, so far today, we can see that XRP price is a little red on the day, but we have had a pretty solid week. Like I mentioned briefly yesterday, we have just now broken the downtrend that we have been in. But I'll get back to that later because if you know me and my work, there's a certain way I like to do things. I like to zoom out as far as possible and do an analysis and then zoom in to get the nitty-gritty details later on. Here we are on the 1 month chart. And what I want to discuss here is the overall look of XRP. I want to look at the maturity of XRP compared to Bitcoin because Bitcoin was the very first cryptocurrency out there, and now we are looking more and more like we're following in its footsteps. Let me explain why. For Bitcoin, we had the initial price launch and price discovery phase, right? And after that, we went out to break new highs. This spike was very fast, very explosive, and very vicious. Next, we went on to a long consolidating bear market. Next, we never actually had a spike like we did here, like with these big green monthly candles. We had a lot of smaller greener candles that grinded our way up to the all-time high before we found the next consolidation area. Now, looking at the XRP price chart, we can see that price discovery happened when XRP was launched. Then we had a breakout with big green monthly candles before we hit a long dreading consolidation period like Bitcoin did. Looking at how Bitcoin evolved and its prices evolved to a more mature, slow grinding market, it would be fair to assume that we might see the same for XRP, thinking that we have been through this price discovery, we have been through the spikes and the retrace that we now just went through. It is fair to say that this next move up might not be as fast as we all think. So looking at this chart, you can see that we're moving slower and slower and slower. So I was thinking, if this is taking longer to develop, we should be able to see the same patterns and the same moves, but in bigger time frames, right? So if we have one move in Bitcoin taking us up to its all-time highs using a full Fibonacci extension, we could expect XRP to be going in the same move if it's following in Bitcoin's footsteps. That has taken us up all the way to $59, which is a heck of a lot higher than my previous targets were. Now that we have found a target based upon that we are still in a bull market, most people still believe that we are in a bear market. But here, let me go out on a limb and try to prove to you that we are still in a bull market. Now, let's take a look at Bitcoin and when it was in its first phase, which was price discovery and then breakout. Let's measure to figure out. So let's measure from the bottom of this move and until it hit its high of a bull cycle, which took 735 days. Now, let's measure from the bottom, the next move to the top here, which took 1,070 days. Let's do some simple math. It gives me an increase of 31%, right? So it's taking 31% longer, this move, than that move did. So I think we can say that it would take 31% longer than that previous move. 1064 times 1.31 equals 1,393 days. Let's see here. Approximately 1,394 days before the top of this move will come in. So we have already proven that things are getting slower and slower, like these bull cycles are taking longer and longer to play out. So how can we tell if a trend is broken? Well, if you're looking at this chart, if you're looking at this last bull market, you can see that we never broke this 200 moving average before the bull market was over, right? But we kept coming back, we kept bouncing at this 50 moving average. Now, because this next move is taking longer, we can't use the 1 day to judge it. We're going to have to zoom out. We're going to have to use the 1 week. Okay? So in the previous bull market, we kept hitting the 50 MA and kept bouncing up. In this bull market, we are just now coming back to test the 50 MA, and we have found a support here for now to keep moving up. Now, let's take a look at XRP. On the 1 week of XRP, we're also seeing the same thing. We are seeing consolidation, and we hit this moving average, which is now support. We're also looking at this trend line. So on the 1 week, we are finding a lot of support. Let's zoom in. Quite a few weeks back, I was talking about how this pattern is a really normal bottoming signal in the market. Go back and look at it if you haven't watched it. But for now, I'm going to give you the quick version. This pattern right here, where you have a bottom, consolidation up, and then a breakdown to not break that low, but create a higher low than previous, like we did here, before a spike up and breakthrough and consolidation in between the moving averages is completely normal in XRP, in the cryptocurrency market, in the stock market in general. Just back here, when XRP finally found its bottom of this bear market, this was the exact pattern that we saw. We had a sell-off, then a bounce up, consolidation. We set in this low, we came consolidated back down before we bounced up in between the moving averages, right? So we went up and we hit the 200 moving average, consolidated back down in between the 200 and the 50 moving average before breaking up and setting a new high, right? Make note how this pulls back and consolidates on top of these moving averages and on top of previous supports, right? Consolidating here, previous supports before going on to set new highs. Now, this is the pattern that we're seeing, right? We're seeing the sell-off, we're seeing the higher high, we're seeing the spike up in between the moving averages. This is where we are today. Spike up in between the moving averages. We hit the 200, came back down, we are finding support here at the 50 moving average. My expectation is that we follow this pattern short term by consolidating in between these and then breaking to the upside. From history, we know that after we break to the upside, we go up and we break the resistance that's above it. So, because we have already broken this short-term resistance, the next resistance back then was here, right? So now, if I'm being honest, we don't know if the break of this resistance here is good enough, right? Or if we actually need to come back up here, test this, come back down, consolidate, and test this again for new support before we break up to the upside. There is a chance, however, because we have already broken this resistance, that we will break through this next resistance, hit the top resistance like we did back at the bottom of the market. Here, consolidate down, hit this support before breaking up to new highs. That is taken into consideration if we are following a pattern like we are at the bottom of markets, like we did back here, and hoping that we won't get a catastrophe of an SEC case happening to us again. Now that I mentioned the SEC case, it is worth mentioning my second theory on how this will play out short term. The big picture is still, I think there is a slow grind, but we might see some bigger spikes to the upside here shortly. Now, if an SEC case would get dropped, or if there's a settlement, like we know from Hogan's YouTube videos, if you don't know him, please go check him out. XRP is falling behind because of this SEC case, and it has gained a lot of attention because of it. Now, all the rest of the cryptocurrency market has already gone past its all-time highs, and the ones that are lowest ones have gone past it and come back are now back testing its all-time highs, right? So the only reason why XRP is falling behind is because of this lawsuit. If this lawsuit would be dropped, then XRP would be drastically undervalued compared to the rest of the market. So normal investors, like big money investors, what they do is these are called lagging stocks or lagging investments, because the underlying asset value of XRP compared to its competitors, the rest of the cryptocurrency market, is priced at all-time high, which for XRP is about $3.37, right? If we see that drop, we might see a spike in the XRP price taking us up to these levels before we see further consolidation. Something like this. Up here, consolidate. We might see a knockback to test this high and then up and then consolidate before a higher move would need to happen. Like we mentioned in the beginning, if we do a slower spike up, we will just continue to be in this range like Bitcoin did back when it was in its slow rise. So it kind of matches up because we have this trend. If we spike up and we get a settlement and we do hit the top of the range, then it is matching perfectly with what you can see. A spike up because of settlement, we're almost up by the underlying value of XRP compared to the rest of the market. From here, we'll see a slight pull down, testing some supports, and here the market will start following, or Bitcoin will continue its rise to complete its full bull cycle. And that is when we break out of this range, or out of this rising channel, and we head higher. How high? I'm not entirely sure, right? So the very top target that I have for XRP, if everything goes after plan, is 59. I will not be holding for $59. I will be holding for something in here. I have my target set based on personal income and based on life goals. So for those of you who want to hold long term, these are the targets that I would hold for, but I will not be holding for those targets personally. My targets will be set at $7, $12, and then if I have any XRP left, I'll be holding for the $59 mark. The reason why I have these targets are simple, because we have a normal Fibonacci extension for this move in XRP, taking us to about $13, right? $7 is based on a smaller move. If we have this move happen for a full Fibonacci extension, will take us close to $7. And like you know, the last move is if we do a full Fibonacci extension using the bottom of the red range, the top and bottom, we will see $59 like it did when Bitcoin did it. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Thank you for watching. I'll keep giving you updates as we move along to see where we are, what strategies I think or what patterns I think we are following, but it's all going to be answered real soon. It all depends on we get a settlement and we get a fast move up, or if we just do a slow grind up to our targets. Thanks for watching.